get top talent at the cornerback position, you have to go for it because we haven't had a lockdown number one corner since prime D'Angelo Hall and before then Champ Bailey. We haven't had one too often. I think a dominant, shutdown, versatile corner could literally be the cherry on top of completing this defense. I value having a cornerback one over the linebacker position. I think we can solve the linebacker position later in the draft and in free agency if Ron and them want to actually spend money and not shop at the bargain bin all off season. But yeah, we're going to start at pick 16. The way that this mock draft fell for me, Paris Johnson Jr., tackle out of Ohio State, and Broderick Jones ended up going in the top 14 to New England and Houston. So both of the top two tackles went off the board early. And at 16, I had my pick of the litter between the top two cornerbacks in this draft, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon and Joey Porter Jr. So at the 16th pick of my NFL mock draft for the Washington Commanders, they select cornerback Christian Gonzalez, Oregon. This guy is a monster. 6'2", 201, moves very fluidly. My difference between him and Joey Porter is Joey Porter has, maybe he's more twitched up. He's twitchier and more athletic, but he's not as refined as Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez looks like a prototypical zone cornerback. And we play a lot of zone here, but he has the ability to play man as well. We have this issue where we always go out and acquire cornerbacks that do the opposite of what we're trying to do defensively or schematically. Like we went and got Josh Norman, who was a cover 3 corner, and brought him here and said, no, you're just going to shadow and follow receivers. Like you're a man-to-man guy. We paid all this money for Will Jackson to be a man-to-man corner when all we do is run zone. How about we pick a guy that fits the scheme perfectly and is also versatile enough to do both? Christian Gonzalez is the best of both worlds. 6 pass breakups, 4 interceptions this year. Baller, very willing tackler. He's coming up and he's laying the boom. He likes to tackle. And when you see a cornerback that is not afraid to get in, throw his head in the ring and knock somebody's lights out, you love to see that. But his coverage skills and his fluidity of his hips and his feet are why he's to me, the number one cornerback in this draft. Has the size and the length you need. 6'2" corner, long arms, absolute baller. Most importantly, he walks in on this roster and is immediately the best corner on the roster and is CB1 from the day that he steps on the Ashburn Park residence. I wish he could wear number 0 in the NFL because he wears number 0 for Oregon and it looks absolutely fucking nasty. Give me Christian Gonzalez at pick 16 for my Washington Commanders, which takes us to the second round, pick 47. He said we wanted to find us a corner, but we also wanted to bolster the O-line. We want to protect Sam Howell. We want to give Sam Howell the best shake at having a productive and baller first year starting and sophomore year in the NFL. I told you how the top 2 tackles were off the board in the first round. Well, since our last pick, only 1 tackle is gone before this next pick, and that was Darnell Wright, and that was the guy I had very high on my board to be our second round pick. I was going to get him, draft him, plug and play at right tackle immediately. I think Sam Cosmi and Chris Paul are going to be your guards next year. So this next pick is coming down to center or tackle. Center from Georgia, Cedric Van Pran, or right tackle, Anton Harrison. This is a guy who's probably not going to be here at this pick because he's probably going much earlier in the draft. Much earlier in the draft. But Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma. This dude is 6'5", 315. I see a 71 in the Oklahoma Sooners uniform, and I immediately think of Trent Williams. No, he's probably not Trent. He's a really good pass blocker, and he has room to grow as a run blocker. He looks like a bookend tackle that you could put on either side. And Charles Leno, I need to see better from him for what we're paying him. For now, we're putting Harrison on the right side. So we got our line of Leno, Chris Paul, hopefully Chase Rouillet, but could be a cut candidate to save on the cap because of his injury history. We can replace him with a younger body, Cosmi and Antoine Harrison. I need me a bookend right tackle. We need to get that figured out. Cosmi being a guard is cool and all, but we drafted him to be a right tackle, and let's keep it a buck. He hasn't exactly excelled or prospered since he's been here. We need an answer at that position. And like I said, when I see 71 in an Oklahoma Sooners uniform, last time we took one of those, his name was Trent Williams, and he was all time. Obviously, that was a high first round pick, and this is not the same caliber of player, but I trust it. I trust the Juju. Last time we picked the 71 from Oklahoma, that guy's going to wear a gold jacket. And you love to see how he's finally getting the national recognition that he should have got when he was here in Washington. But guys just don't get that chance here because of Dan the Dweeb Snyder and everything he's done to sully the name of this organization. But shout out to Trent Williams. Shout out to Antoine Harrison. Mock draft through 2 rounds. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, Oregon. Tackle Antoine Harrison in the 2nd round out of Oklahoma. I don't want to do any 7-round mock drafts anymore until the NFL and the draft simulators issue the compensatory picks, because Washington gets a late 3rd round pick for Sheriff leaving and a 7th round compensatory pick. So there's 2 more picks added to the litany of picks that we already have for the 2023 draft. So I'm going to give you 2 rounds this week, and next week we're going to mix it up, and we're going to have me and my guy representing the Ravens, and we're going to do a 2-team mock draft next week. Hopefully those things are updated by then so we can do a full 7-rounder. But we went corner and tackle to kick off mock draft Monday number 2. Go Bucks tonight. Send the Cowboys home. #How 2023. Scream it to the rooftops. Deuces.